Hi everyone, out and about with Tom and Sherry. Well, it's Harvest Festival Day at the Nevada Railroad Museum in Carson City, Nevada. So I thought we'd pop on over and see what we can see of the historic trains here from the Virginia and Truckee Railroad. So it should be a fun afternoon. It's nice and warm, not too hot. We'll go see what we can see. Comes the historic Glenbrook. So the Harvest Train event is having a pumpkin patch too. They don't have a lot of pumpkins, but some pumpkins. 8 for small, 10 for medium, and 15 for large, and the proceeds all benefit the Friends of the Nevada State Railroad Museum. I may need to get me a pumpkin. I don't have one yet. This is probably a large one here. That's a long stem on that one. Oops, here comes the Glenbrook again. Alright, I think I have my pumpkin here. That's a large size, I would say. That should be a good one. Here's the entrance to the Railroad Museum, the Jacobson Interpretive Center here. Got a caboose. And there's the turntable there. No trains out there right now. And then the workshop's back here. Walk over there. This sign about the Glenbrook. The Glenbrook steam locomotive is a narrow gauge 2-6-0 freight locomotive built by the Baldwin Locomotive Works of Philadelphia in 1875. It is one of the few surviving relics of the extensive lumbering activity around Lake Tahoe that supported the Comstock from the 1870s through the end of the 19th century. For nearly 25 years, it pulled trainloads of cut timbers and cordwood from Glenbrook sawmills to Spooner Summit, from which point a flume carried the wood products down to the Virginia and Truckee Railroad at Carson City. With the exhaustion of the Comstock and the demise of the local lumber industry, the Glenbrook and its railroad were relocated to Tahoe City, forming a connection between the lake and the Southern Pacific at Truckee. There, the Glenbrook pulled trainloads of tourists for another quarter century. Presented to the Nevada State Museum in 1943, the engine was a landmark attraction in the front of the old Mint building in Carson City for nearly 4 decades. In 1981, it was relocated to the Virginia Truckee Railroad Museum, subsequently the Nevada State Railroad Museum, with the goal of restoring the venerable locomotive. While significant work was accomplished between 1981 and 1986, little was done in the subsequent 23 years as other projects took precedent. However, in 2010, the E.L. Wiegand Foundation made a significant grant to complete the project and work resumed in earnest. After careful reconstruction, the old boiler was tested for licensing in November 2014, the first time there was steam in the locomotive since 1926. The locomotive was first operated for the public on Memorial Day weekend 2015. This is the McKeen Motor Car. Sometimes they have this out. You can ride on it. I've ridden on it in the past. It's been restored. It's pretty neat. All restored. McKeen Motor Car number 22. This sign about the McKeen Motor Car number 22 reads, purchased in 1910 to service increased passenger travel between Reno, Carson City, and Minden. This 70-foot self-propelled car had a capacity of 84 riders. About 150 of these wind splitter cars were manufactured in Omaha, Nebraska, and number 22 is now the only fully functional and restored car in the world. Rebuilt in 1932 to carry fewer passengers, but adding railway post office and express spaces, car number 22 provided daily round-trip service between Reno to Minden until Nevada Day 1945. In 1945, the distinctive body of the motor car was sold and soon became Denny's Diner on the corner of William and Carson Streets. By 1955, V&T number 22 had been moved to 1400 South Carson, where it became part of Al's Plumbing and Heating until it was donated to the museum in 1996. The restoration and replication process began immediately, but was slow going. A fully restored number 22 was unveiled exactly 100 years to the day after arriving in Carson on May 9, 1910. Okay, inside the McKeen motor car. The McKeen motor car used to sit up on the north end of Carson as a diner. Got all the windows open. This engine over here. Number 8, Cook locomotive number 8 from Paterson, New Jersey. And this is a Caboose, Virginia City and Truckee Railroad. Caboose number 1, built in 1869. The sign for the Caboose reads that built in 1869 by the V&T shops in Virginia City, this was the first of 4 coach cabooses and brought up the rear of the first train between Virginia City and Carson City in January 1870. Designed for caboose service, it also carried third-class passengers and had freight doors. Its cost is listed as $3,822 and was originally painted maroon with a light green letterboard, which was lettered with VC&T number 1 in dark green. In 1873, the coach caboose was renumbered number 8 when the V&T received its new passenger train from Kimball Car Works in San Francisco, and the coach was refurbished and returned to service. In 1908, the aging car was rebuilt into a maintenance car for the V&T, and then converted to a sleeper, diner, and workroom for the Interstate Commerce Commission valuation crew in 1915. March of 1923 saw the car remodeled again, this time into a cook and dining car for MOU crews. The freight doors were removed at this time. The car was sold to MGM Pictures in August 1947 for $1,550, where it remained until 1970, when it was purchased and restored as number 8 by Ronald Steiner. Acquired by the Nevada State Railroad Museum in 1988, Coach Caboose number 8 continues to see operating duties during scheduled steam-ups and special events. It's on the Caboose. Nice plush sheets. This is the number 25 engine, Virginia Truckee Railroad, getting ready to pull out here in about 10 minutes. Looks like we've got a lady engineer. Baldwin Locomotive Works, number 25016, Philadelphia, January 1905. and where we're staying.
Well, you're okay. Don't worry. I'll let the train back.
Go into the train station. This railroad station is called the Wabuska Depot. And the information here is pretty long, but the intro says other than the U.S. Post Office, the two-story clapboard commercial hotel, and J.M. Finney's general merchandise store, the Southern Pacific Station at Wabuska served as the hub of the modest settlement. Located at the upper end of Mason Valley, erected in 1906 by a crew of S.B. carpenters, the 24 by 80-foot freight and passenger station replaced an earlier and smaller depot built by the Carson and Colorado Railroad. The single-story wood frame building served the predominantly agricultural and mining region until September 1st, 1979, when the railroad closed the station. The information is pretty long, but towards the end, it explains about this particular station. That after it had closed in 1979, it reads that it was a gift to the Nevada State Museum in 1982. The 80-foot long depot was moved intact to the Railroad Museum in Carson City in 1983. During the next 4 years, depending on the time and funds, the depot underwent a complete renewal to reflect its appearance of the 1910s. Notwithstanding the addition of a number of mandatory safety features, as well as several but necessary modern conveniences, such as a telephone and an electric cash register, the Wabuska Depot is back in business, serving as a busy railroad station once again. Yep. Well, that wraps up the little visit to the Northern Nevada Railroad Museum and the Harvest Train event. Hope you enjoyed seeing the historic Glenbrook and the number 25 engine of the Virginia Truckee Railroad. So thanks for watching Out and About with Tom and Sherry. We hope you liked the video and subscribe and share. So we'll see you next time.